Like saying, whatever you consume, you become basically, you know?
Yeah, who told you this life is about enjoyment? It's not.
Mm.
Life is about living life. You're going to go through hardships. You're going to find depressing times. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Real Talk, where we dissect into the minds of millionaires and aspiring millionaires. We will dive deep and we'll figure out what goes through their heads, what their day looks like, and what the process is for them. I'm here with
What's up? My name is Antonio Lopez. I'm a high schooler, a senior at MVHS. I'm here today with my cousin Eric to do this podcast, which I'm really honored to be here today. Honestly, I don't have any better else to do, so yeah. I guess like I can just say like I guess I have like a lot of questions for you because you have like I don't know, you have like so many like paths to go and stuff and everything. And I guess my question is like what are your like goals and what are your like accomplishments as well, you know?
I mean, to start off with accomplishment things, I mean, realistically, to small minded people, what I've accomplished already is so much at the age I am. Being 17 years old and running a marketing agency and being able to pull and being successful, specifically in 1 month, where I pulled where most adults will never make this in a month, which was around 10 grand in 1 month.
Mm.
This was back in July, and I mean, I'm blessed to be able to have the opportunity and the knowledge to be able to make that. But the thing is, with everything, is I have nothing to celebrate. That's the way I see it. I still have not reached my goal. I've still not changed my mother's life. I still have not changed the lives around me. And that's where I'm like, the accomplishments I have to small minded people may be great, especially for the age I am. But the goals I have compare nothing to that. The goals I have in life are to, one, out of high school, my plan is to get my real estate license. As of now, I'm working with Sean Bautista up in the Seattle area, which I mean, I'm just honored to be able to learn from him, being one of the best realtors in the state and being number one ranked in on social media. So, just being able to learn from him and go into out of high school with it and go fully into it, that's where I think I will succeed most, to be able to build an empire in real estate, but then also build a following, which is why I've just started posting more consistently, just to be able to build this following so that I can build an empire in real estate, be able to create the relationships where the income comes to me and I just do the end paperwork, build that, but also build an audience where I'm able to show everyone around me how I made it, how to succeed in life, and also just how to succeed in financial wise as well. Because my goal at the end of the day is, if I'm 80 years old on my deathbed, and this is exactly how I would have loved my life to go out, was be able to build generational wealth, obviously retire my mother, buy a ranch for my grandpa. He works his ass off every day. He's working his ass off. He's in his 70s, and it's just tiring just seeing how he is.
Mm.
And honestly, the goals that I have in this life are big. They're scary. They're very scary.
Yeah.
And there's always this like sense in your back of your head is like, what if it doesn't work out? But then what drives me every day is, it will work out. Again, another quote that pushes me every day is, what if it can turn out better than you can ever expect? And I mean, to sense it all up, my goals are to be able to build generational wealth so that my future generations won't work out of necessity, but more work out of to learn valuable life skills.
Mm.
Retire my mother, be able to retire the people that gave me this life, that have the opportunities that I've been given. There's many opportunities I had to build on my own, but yet there are still opportunities our parents gave us, whether that's a food on the table, a roof over our heads. That's more than many in the world can say they have.
Mm.
So, I mean, at the end of it, it's more of building a generational wealth so that those people that gave me those opportunities won't ever have to work again, so that they can spend the rest of their years on this earth that we're blessed to have, resting, enjoying it like they deserve to. So, I mean, besides that, the end goal is just building generational wealth.
Yeah. So that's like the end goal of everything, right?
Yeah, like I said, if I could look into my future, I can envision it.
Mm.
I'm 80 years old, 80, 90, wherever my deathbed comes,
Mm.
and just be able to say that I was able to take care of the people that I love, the people that are closest to me, and just being able to build generational wealth for them and for future generations,
Mm.
so that they don't have to go through the hardship that me and you had to growing up,
Yeah.
and that we still face today.
Yeah. So I guess like in the end, you're almost saying like, I want to do good for the rest of my life. You know, not waste it, because a lot of people in our age, like just waste it all and having not ever taking like the opportunity or taking risks, because they're just too scared of just like trying. You know,
I mean, yeah, the risk part. I mean, that's a very
Mhm.
big thing. Is
Yeah.
especially now, like right now, I've my
mean-
the counselors at school. I've
we
told
can
them.
risk school if we want to, but
I've told them immediately, like already my plan, and my plan isn't to go to college.
yeah.
And everyone around us, like realistically, everyone around us are telling us to go to college.
Yeah.
You've heard this. It probably comes from your older sister as well. It comes from my family as well. It's like, go the safe route, go to college, get your degree, and work a 9 to 5 till you're about 65, retire. That's not the life I want. I don't want to get caught in this so-called rat race where it's just chasing money and it's working to get paid instead of being paid for what you're worth.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess like that's the life that nobody else wants to live, even though like they're living it too. You know, it's just sad just to see them I think I had like a friend in Seattle. He told me like he had a chance to actually like get into. He either had a chance to like go for his passions, like cause he does like real estate and all that stuff, and he wanted
Yeah.
to do like real estate in college or whatever and stuff. He wanted to do like actual like work with like the college and stuff.
I mean, a mentor is a very big thing. I've learned this right now, and that's where I feel like many generations and many people in this generation are so egotistical that they think they can accomplish everything on their own. When realistically, when you look at the greats like Alexander the Great, Marcus Aurelius, Socrates, Plato, we look at them now and we see them as historic figures, as people that achieved so much in life. And what did they all have was a mentor, because they had the humbleness in them to be like, I don't know everything, but I will learn from somebody that has experienced life more than I have, and I will take what I can get from there and learn what else I can learn on my own. And I feel like I said, a mentor that I'm working with right now is Sean Bautista. He's 7-figure multi-million-dollar agent up in Seattle. I'm blessed to be able to work with him. And I mean, I think for anyone to find success, you need a mentor. You can do it without a mentor, and there are people who have done it. Like, you have very big gurus like Iman Gadzhi, who
But it's very hard to do it on your
it's
own.
very hard. Like, realistically, it's a 1 in a million you do it without a mentor, without somebody at least leading you, whether that's in books, whether that's in just seminars and learning from wherever you can hear from them. I think it's arrogant to say you don't need one. I feel like ego is the biggest killer of success. And I mean, a very big book that one of my favorite books, Ego is the Enemy, from Ryan Holiday, it dives into that. And honestly, if anybody's watching this, I would recommend reading that book. It's such a great book and goes into the whole idea of how ego realistically is the killer of a lot of success.
Mm-hmm. So like when you talk about like ego and stuff, does ego like also hold you back from like certain things, like opportunities and stuff?
So
Or just would you say like if you saw someone and you say like, oh, maybe I can do this better on my own or something, or maybe I can just like move past this without having any help and stuff, you know? Does it like, how do you kill like ego when it comes to just like having to reach your goal?
So, again, let me clarify this, because what I went into sounds like you don't need ego at all. No. You need to have an ego in some parts, but you need to understand when to control it. I would say it's different. I would say you need confidence instead of ego, but some people say it's ego. But you need to believe, even though that you're not. You might not be the best, but you need to believe you are the best. You need to go into anything you do to succeed thinking I'm the best. Like, honestly, right now, like, I understand when I go into a room with multimillionaires, with people that have achieved what I want, And I understand that I can't go in there and act like I'm the shit, because I'm not compared to them. What I've achieved may be successful to the people our age and around us, where we're in Skagit Valley, where it's not known for producing millionaires, where it's producing big time people. But it might be big to them, but you go into these rooms and you feel so small. That's when you need to understand where your ego needs to come down. But when you're in a room, or when you know your worth in a room, that's when I think you need to understand that I'm the best in here. And whatever you do, like, honestly, I'm delusional enough to believe that I can shoot like John Wick, that I can race like an F1 driver, I can do business like Bill Gates. I'm delusional enough to believe this, so I will do my best to do it. But I also understand that there's times where I'm outranked, and I need to understand that my ego goes down. There's the difference where I mean ego is a killer, because there's people out there that believe they're just the best in everything, and they treat everyone like that. And that's when they get into a room where they're outmatched tenfolds. They get shut down. They lose business. Yes, you need to have confidence in those rooms. I'm not saying don't go in there, be a little like turtle, hide in your shell, but you need to have a confidence in you to be in there and be like, I deserve to be in here. But also understand that I'm not at their level, but I want to get there. Yeah. So that's where I would say ego is necessary to a point, but you need to understand that fine line. And I can say this now, I'm young. We're both very young. We still have a lot of life to live, and especially on the ego part, we both still have time to learn. We've learned so much already with the hardships that we've developed as kids, but there's a certain level of ego that we have because of all the hardships, the confidence that we have in ourselves because of the hardships. And obviously sometimes, like, I even noticed that after I reevaluate things, situations that have happened, my ego did get up. It does get up still, but as we live life, we learn to control it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm perfect on the end of controlling my ego, because I'm not. My ego does get in the way sometimes, and that's again something that we still learn as we grow. But I think it's something that I've been able to hold on my own better than people around our age. That just comes with just being around people that are millionaires. We're both not millionaires yet.
But
we both aspire to be there.
Yeah, aspire.
But we've put ourselves in the rooms to be with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think that's the best way to reach it, is to just be in the room with them, learn from them.
Yeah.
Why are we gonna be in a room? The way I see it, and this again that you mentioned earlier, was that in the fact of people our age don't have the same drive as us.
Yeah.
They don't have the same drive as us.
They really don't. I think, like, if you really look at the people that we surround ourselves with, it don't really push us, to where we want to be, For me, like, when I see people that I hang out with and stuff, and I question them.
I mean, you have to look at that too, especially. Like, look at yourself. Look at the people around you. Are they bettering you? Are they making sure that you improve? Because, I mean, yeah, I looked at it. You have to look at it. You may not be that type of person. So let's put an example out there. Your 5 closest friends are out partying, are out drinking, are out wasting their youth years doing who knows what, doing alcohol, drinking, smoking, doing drugs. You may not do it, but they're not there to push you, because they think that's okay. So when you go do something different, they're gonna be like, why are you trying to be different? Why don't not just come enjoy us? Why not come do this with us? Because it's fun. Why not come do it? Why not do this with us? Instead of, yes, go try that. Go to that seminar. Read that book. Go listen. Go to that convention. Learn about business. And again, it reflects you as a person, especially with people, because your first impression is everything. If you have let's put this in play. You have a business that you're trying to start up, and you're trying to get funding from an investor, right? He looks at you and he looks at the 5 people around you. He doesn't know you, but the first impression is everything. He looks at you and he looks at your friends. What does he see? What does he see in your friends? They're partying, they're drinking, instead of out there working, hustling, grinding. He may not know that you don't do that, but that's just going to reflect. He's going to assume that you do that as well. If those are the 5 closest people to you, you need to understand that you need to surround yourself with people that will push you every day, that will put your ego to test. They will put you down if you're doing something wrong, and they will be there in your success and in your failures. I mean, who are you going to learn more from? 5 people that drink, that do drugs, that party every night? Or are you going to learn more from people that are out there pushing themselves every day, finding new ways to make business, learning how to improve themselves, going to the gym, eating good, taking care of themselves so that when they become adults, that they're able to go fully into business or into whatever career path they want, so that they have a successful future? You're going to learn so much more from the 5 people that will push you every day instead of the 5 people that are there dragging you down. And they're going to be there and they're going to say it, that it's okay. We're young. We have many years. But the way I see it, would you rather spend 10 years of your 20s? Would you spend your 20s partying, enjoying life, having fun, and then from 30 and on to retirement work? In work? Or would you rather work? Because realistically, the way I've seen it, it takes, if you put your head down 5 years, you will find success in whatever you do. 5 years of just straight work, and you will find whatever you want, whatever success you want. So if you want to spend your 20s, build the wealth and the financial freedom that you need to spend 30s and up to enjoy your life, I would rather do that. Spend 10 years grinding, mastering something, being able to build financial freedom from it, and then 30 on, live the rest of my life, enjoy it. Yeah. Which could be, if anything in our life, in our families, we'll probably live up to 90 to 100. I mean, the generations before us have, so I don't see why we couldn't either. So would you rather spend, maybe it's going to be what, 60 years? 60 years of enjoyment? Or would you rather spend 10 years of enjoyment? I would say that's a no-brainer. Yeah. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. I'd rather spend 10 years in hell and work and then enjoy 60 years than enjoy 10 years and then have 60 years of straight hell of just working.
I mean, like, for me, I don't really want to have enjoyment at all, honestly. But like, when you say, like, when you're working, does that mean that you're working, like, entirely, like, forever and stuff, you know, until you reach your goals and stuff? When you smash your goal, only then would you have enjoyment from everything else, right? So, or is there, like, a limitation against enjoyment?
The way I see it, I'm not going to stop working once I reach success, when I can enjoy my life. I'm not, because that's how people plateau. That's how people plateau, because they get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, that's when problems start coming. And when problems start coming, that's when you're going to start struggling more. You're going to get in headaches. Yeah. You're going to cause problems at home. So I'm not going to stop working, but I will enjoy a little bit. I will go on the occasional vacation. I'll make sure that everyone around me is taken care of. Because my enjoyment is not partying, is not drinking. I don't find that fun. I don't find that fun. There's a reason I haven't drank alcohol once in my life. I haven't done drugs once in my life. That's because you need to understand that our bodies, we're blessed to have these bodies from God, and we need to take care of it. Yeah, we need to treat them as temples. Yeah. And that's how you will find health. There's a reason that so many people that, there's a reason Buddhas, you've seen them, they look young. They do. They look young. They look like they're in their like 70s, and they look like they're in their 20s.
They just look so young. Yet they're like, when you talk to like a Buddha, they're like, how do you look so young? You know, like, what's their secret? You know,
they took care of their body. Yeah, their body is a temple to them.
Exactly.
No alcohol, no drugs.
Nothing but peace.
Nothing but peace. and like every little thing that goes in your head, you will reflect that in your body. If you
Yeah.
take in negative things into your head, it's gonna reflect in your mind and your thoughts, and you're gonna be like, oh, let's go. This fast food is better than a home cooked meal
Yeah.
that's balanced. This
So that's like saying, whatever you consume, you become, basically. You know.
yeah, whatever you
If you
consume, you
eat
become.
junk food, then you're just gonna become like, really nasty. You're
You're gonna be tired all the time.
If you eat like healthy, you're gonna be healthy. You know. It's
If
like in the
you
way
exercise your
think.
body's gonna build
More
strength.
muscle. Yeah.
It's gonna build balance. If you're out there doing whatever the hell you want, just
That's
laying down
unbalanced.
watching TV, that's a
Yeah.
waste of time. It's a big waste of time. But if you're just sitting there watching TV every night instead of, I don't know, reading a book,
Yeah.
instead of reading a book, it's so much better just to pick and read a book. Again, it comes into the arrogance thing where people are like, "Oh, I don't need to read that because I'm not gonna learn anything from it."
Mm.
If you read books that have genuine structure and genuine message, you will learn. Again, another favorite of my books is Meditations. You read this book.
Yeah.
Meditations is such a good book, and I mean the passage that comes to mind all the time is in book 5. It starts off with Marcus explaining that he struggles to get up. He struggles to get up in the morning like any other human, but he
Yeah.
needs to because he is human. He needs to get working, and this
Yeah,
shows
that's
that
his purpose, basically.
it's his purpose of life.
Yeah.
And I
his
mean,
purpose is not to sit down and sleep all day. His purpose is not to go out and drink. He's more than that. He's human. There's a reason why he has hands. There's a reason we have legs. There's a reason we have a mind. We're not like, we may be limited, but who cares? We push ourselves anyway.
yeah, I mean, it shows that, and it shows that there's no difference in terms of being a human. To me, to Marcus Aurelius, to Jeff Bezos, to Bill Gates, to Elon Musk, we're all
the
human,
same, yeah.
but they programmed themselves. They've instilled discipline in themselves. They've instilled all these aspects that improve their lives instead of sitting around and deciding to be depressed for the day. That, okay, I feel sad, I'm not gonna work.
Mm.
Tell that to your dad, who got up every single day. If you don't have a dad, tell that to your mother, who got up. Tell that to a parent, whoever took care of you. Tell that to them. When they knew that they had to take care of you, that
Yeah.
they have a family to provide, you go tell that to the farm workers. That, I guarantee, if you tell them, would they rather get paid that same wage but doing a secretary's job, just typing things in a computer? They would take that all day. But
Yeah.
they don't have that option, and they get up either way, whether they're sad, whether they're depressed, whether they're angry, whether not in the mood, they're tired. They don't care. They get up because they understand they have a family to provide for.
Yeah.
It's a
They
sense
have
of
no choice.
they don't have no choice,
Yeah.
and they don't care. They understand. They could feel sad, they could feel depressed and tired and not decide, oh, I'm not gonna go to work today, but they don't. You know why? Because this life, who told you this life is about enjoyment? It's not. Life is about living life. You're gonna go through hardships. You're gonna find depressing times. You're gonna be sad. There's gonna be times where you're happy. There's gonna be times where you're angry. There's gonna be times where you're confused and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But that's life. You were put on this earth not for enjoyment. You're put on this life to live life.
It's basically saying like so many losses yet so little wins, but yet the little wins count so much. When you see that your parents, and when you see like your uncles, or you see that just your family in general actually got a little bit of money. It's not much. It's enough to buy food. It's enough to buy something for you. It's not enough, but it's something. And that's the little things that count the most, because like when we grow up, like we didn't really have what the people around us had, basically. I mean, like for me, like I was like around a bunch of like people that were like higher above me and stuff. They had so much things and I didn't have. But hey, like I need to stay grateful. I had to stay grateful for the food that I have. I always thank God to say like, hey, I thank you for giving me this food, because without it, what am I gonna survive on?
I mean, yeah, we need to be thankful for everything we have.
Yeah.
We're blessed every day by the gracious of God. We're blessed here. We're blessed that we've built enough wealth, and when I mean wealth, it's very little compared to what we achieve, what we want. We're blessed to have these computers. these $1,000 computers. We're blessed to have them. We're blessed to have these expensive mics. We're blessed to be able to be here.
We're also blessed to have each other, because without each other, then
I think every man needs another man to push themselves. I think if you will find so much more success when you have another man next to you that pushes you, that wants the same thing, because it will instill almost a competitiveness in between us to be better than each other.
we're pushing each other.
We're pushing each other. It creates this like competition in us that we're like, I want to be better, but when we achieve, we celebrate with each other.
Yeah, and
We have the competition in us to be like, we want to be better, but then when we succeed, we're like, we're thankful for each other.
Yeah,
We're blessed to have each other.
yeah.
We'll celebrate each other's wins. We'll be there for each other's losses. I think every man needs some sort of like a brother in that sense.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, when it comes back to, like, the friends, to have someone that's, like, almost the same as you, but, like, almost, like, a little more better than you, You can't really have anybody that's in your level. If you have someone that's in your level, then, like, it's just, like, you going against, like, yourself, basically, And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to have someone that's, like, a better version of yourself.
We learned in class, I think you weren't in class at that time, but it's one of the Stoic beliefs. Yeah, you weren't here for that, but it's one of those Stoic beliefs, amor fati, appreciating everything you have. And I mean, this is another thing. Somebody we both very loved growing up, Paul Walker. We loved the Fast and Furious movies. We both love cars. A quote he said was, "Get up, count your blessings, because there's somebody else that in a worse situation that would want to be in yours." You might have had a shitty day. You might have lost some money.
But there are other peoples out there
That in a
who
worse
can't
situation.
come home because they're sick, who can't go home because maybe their home was destroyed.
Yeah.
Maybe they're fighting through a war. Your position is not worse than other people's position.
There's people in worse positions that want what you have. Count your blessings. Be thankful for what you have. Yes, there's gonna be hardships. There's gonna be days you just don't want to live. It's just realistic. There's gonna be those days that you don't want to live. But the difference is getting up and continuing to live, because like amor fati, appreciate what you have. What you have is so big compared to what many have in the world. Yes, there's people that are doing better than you. There's always gonna be people that are doing better than you and doing worse than you. There's always gonna be. There's no doubt of it.
Losers and winners, basically.
It's basically losers and winners. This whole idea of being depressed, like I've said this before. I don't think I've said this publicly, but I don't believe in clinical depression. I believe you can. Depression is a very real thing. Feeling depressed is a very real thing, but depression stopping you from living life, stopping you from improving your life, I guarantee
that's like easy to
that's I think that's BS. I don't believe that depression is the sole thing that stops you from improving your life. Like, if you're depressed, really reflect on yourself. I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say depression isn't a thing. The feeling of depression is a very real thing. I've experienced it.
But you have to take a day and a time to just reflect on yourself.
Reflect on yourself. Look at yourself
in this position.
Look at your situation. Are you struggling with money? Are you struggling with your health? Improve those.
Yeah.
Improve those, and I guarantee you're gonna be happier.
If it's not,
it might not cure it completely.
Yeah. If it's not like physical things, if it's just feelings, if you're struggling with feelings, then
meditate. Meditation is a great thing.
Meditation is pray. Pray to see
yes, prayer is another.
Listen,
great thing.
when I wasn't Christian and stuff, I didn't really took my day and time to pray. Whenever I felt down and stuff, all I had, I usually just just experience it. But now I pray and stuff, and I'll say hey, please give me energy to go through my day or something, or just talk about my problems, and that's it, and I'm good.
I mean, yeah, I think I would say my lowest point in life In the 17 years that I've lived, it's not much. 17 years not compared to what many have lived,
Yeah.
but I have lived through very big highs, very big lows. I've lived through things many our age have not, and maybe will never live through. Hopefully not. But they've instilled values and lessons to me at a young age that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
I think my lowest point in life was at a point where I didn't really believe in the word of God.
Yeah.
I distanced myself from it. And that's when I think I found my lowest point. And what got it out of me in that point was returning to God, reading my Bible,
Mm-hmm.
understanding that there's going to be hard times. There's going to be good times. But be grateful for what you have. God will always be there. There's going to be days that it might not go well.
Yeah.
But still pray. Still meditate. Still pray to whatever God you believe in. And I just think that for me, meditation and prayer has been the very biggest thing to my success and the success that I've had in life so far.
Yeah.
And I think it will be the pillars that will get me to the 7-figure net worth, the 8-figure net worth.
That's like the
And
foundation.
I believe that will be the foundation for anybody's success.
It's the foundation of every success.
Just finding peace in yourself.
Yeah. Peace in general is like beautiful.
Find the peace in yourself, find the confidence in yourself, and go to war. And go to war against the world. Go to war against everybody that says you can't do it. I mean, I understand. I found this peace in myself and this confidence in myself, which is why I started social media. Because before I started, I was like, what are people going to say? But I've learned to the point where there's people going to be hating either way.
Yeah.
Whether that I succeed in life, they're going to be like, oh, he got lucky. No, I did not get lucky. Yes, maybe luck played into a little bit that I was able to.
But it's like so little.
But it's so little.
Yeah.
But yes, I believe in luck. I believe you need some luck to succeed. But what will improve your luck is putting you into the situations that will get you to luck. Putting yourself in a room where you'll find business instead of going and just chilling in your room.
Yeah.
Now that's
That's
unrealistic
like
luck. That's unrealistic luck.
Like
Sitting
if you
in
just
your
sit
room,
down, if you just sit down in your room and just say like, "Oh, I'm gonna get rich,"
you're not gonna do it.
like, no, you're not gonna do it.
You're gonna. Yes, I think you're gonna need somebody to invest in you, and where are you gonna find that person? At seminars. You need to have that little luck to find the person that will invest in you to find success, and that's why I say it involves a little luck, but it involves more of putting yourself in positions to be lucky, because you're not gonna find that person just sitting in your room. They're not gonna come to you. You gotta go to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, putting myself in a room like EXP Realty and the Wolfpack, and who I've been around, and where I'll be going at I think it's the 16th next week, this upcoming week.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll both be there, just being able to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have very big realtors, very successful people in that room. You're gonna have Mike Sherrard. You're gonna have Sean Bautista. I think Scott's coming as well. But just being in a room with them and understanding that getting out of this rat race is, you need to take risk.
Yeah.
To get out of the rat race, you need to take risk. And that's why I honestly believe the school system is the biggest scam in the US. I think it is. If it's not in a specialized field like medicine, law, engineering, I think it's a waste of time. I think you can make more money outside of it, because you have pointless degrees like art, dance. I think taking philosophy, like honestly, I follow Stoicism. I read a lot of philosophy books, but I think you can learn philosophy from just the books, and dissecting the philosophers instead of sitting 4 years and getting a degree that says I can teach philosophy, when I think you would rather spend 4 years I think you will learn more from philosophy, reading the books and dissecting philosophers, than being in class and just writing papers on philosophers, and then you come out and you don't really have a job.
Yeah.
Because what high schools around here teach philosophy? There isn't. What college? Very few college. You would have to compete with the teachers that just taught you to get a job teaching philosophy in unis. You see it a lot. People spend 4 years at college. They come out with degrees and they don't even use it because they can't find work with it. You just paid so much for a degree that you're not going to use. Or you're going to spend so much money on a degree, you're going to put yourself into debt. You're going to work. You're going to find a 9 to 5. You're going to work to 65. I don't understand that's how some people's dreams. I get everybody has to each their own. And for this world to continue, you need people to get stuck in the rat race.
Yeah.
To get out of the game, you need to understand the rules.
Yeah.
And I think I've understand the rules to the point where I know what I need to do to get out of it. Get out of the situation, getting out of the 9 to 5. Because the 9 to 5 life is just not for me. I believe I'm wired differently. I'm not wired to be sitting in an office, taking orders from somebody, working a 9 to 5, and getting paid a mediocre salary. Because it's a very small percentage of Americans and people in the U.S. that make over 6 figures. If you look at the multi-millionaires, some of the most successful people, they didn't even go to college. And the ones that did, half the time they don't even use the degree they used. Half the time they don't use the degree. That's why I still say I'm not discouraging everybody from going to college, because some people, that's just them. They don't work well leading a team. They don't work well running a business. And we still need our doctors. Like, please, if you want to go to medicine, do medicine. We still need doctors. We still need engineers. We still need lawyers.
Yeah.
But if it's in like a random ass degree, or if you don't know what you're gonna do with your life, and because many people out of high school don't know what they want to do with their life. They're still going with life and learning what they want to do, what their passion is.
I mean, they will still think about that.
I would say it's better to not go to college and find yourself, and if you need a degree to do what you're passionate about, then go back to college. College will always be there.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, I think it's a waste of time. I also think it's a waste of time getting a business degree. I think you can learn so much more from doing business, or going to intern and work for somebody that runs a multi-million-dollar business. You'll learn more from them who runs a 7-figure business than the professor that doesn't have a business. Like you have to look at it at a broad spectrum.
I mean, like, for like business professors, how many can you like think of that has like a Porsche or something? Like, if you go to like an institution or like a university for business and stuff, none of them even have like supercars or whatever. None of them even show it off, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we both of our dream cars are GT3 RSs.
Yeah.
They both are. But you have to analyze, and you have to look at what degrees can get us there. The only one I see maybe getting us there is law or medicine.
Yeah.
It's law or medicine. But then you have to specialize in medicine. You have to specialize as a surgeon. Those are the ones who make money. But you have to go through a shit ton of debt, a shit ton of school, and then you come out with a shit ton of debt that you're paying off for a while. And then around 50, you'll get the sport car. You'll get the...
By 50, yeah.
By 50. I don't want that. I want to be able to drive this by... My goal...
Right now.
Yeah, right now. My goal is to have that Porsche by 25.
Yeah.
By 25 is the goal.
And for me, it's 23, so you know.
Yeah. Well, yours 23, mine's 25. We'll see.
We'll see then.
I believe I can do it sooner.
I
just put a 25 mark so that I'm not rushing myself every day.
Yeah.
Because you need to find a balance in life. If you're working constantly, like work, you're gonna drive yourself into unhealthy habits. You're gonna drive yourself into almost insanity. Just working for a goal. I think you need to have a balance. There needs to be a balance in your life. I'm not saying you work 3 days a week and then take 4 days off. No. You're going to have to work. I would say to find success and the success we want, you have to work 7 days a week. 7 days a week of non-stop working, and you'll find success for 5 years. I think you'll find it. I'm saying you need to have the balance of, it's not waking up 6 a.m., straight to work until bed. No, I think you're gonna burn yourself out. You need to be able to set times and a schedule that works for you, that you're able to get work done when you're most productive. For me, I'm most productive in the night. So obviously we're still in school. So I wake up, I go for a run, I'll get back, shower, and go to school. And then out of school, I'll come back and I'll start setting up and working and do whatever homework I have. Try to get that done as quickly. Because honestly,
It's a waste of
it's
time.
a waste of time.
I know, honestly.
That's
I mean, there
another-
were a couple of times where I went home and I'll be like, I don't want to do this. I want to do business. You know, I want to improve on myself rather than improve on my education. You know, it's fine, but like the education that I want to learn from is like, how do I make money? How do I become better? You know,
Yeah.
that's like the type of education that I want to learn. But just school in general, it's just
It's
holding me down. You know,
like if like there's gonna be people that watch this that are gonna be like, what are they talking about? They don't know what they're talking about at the school system. The school system's the only way you succeed. No, I would recommend watching Iman Ghazi's 3-part documentary on the school system. It recently came out. I mean, a lot of it I've already learned on my own, but it's very eye-opening. You have to look at it as like who funded the modern school system. John D. Rockefeller.
and Rockefeller wanted the idea to have everyone like just like it's tied into a system or something, right?
Into a system. A
Yeah.
famous quote from him is, "I want a nation of workers. I don't want a nation of free thinkers."
I saw that too.
Well, why do you want to stop free thinking? Because when you stop free thinking, you'll be able to create workers that will listen to you, that will obey you, that will drive more money into your pocket. When you have to understand, everything is a game. This entire life is a game.
You can
When
be
you
out.
go
Yeah.
against the game, they will try to stop you. You can try to do all these things to prevent it, but it's a game. It's all a game. There's no reason that when people are trying to try new things, there's a reason in school it's made to look like a prison. You're told where to be at a certain hour. You're told you get 30 minutes of lunch.
You're told what to do.
You're told where to go, what to do, how to think. Well, what does that sound? That sounds exactly like a factory worker. That sounds like a worker. And we've experienced this. We've worked in the farms, in the fields. We know this.
I
That
hate it.
there's rules in there that we can't break. There's we wake up early, we get to work. We get a 30-minute lunch break. Then we get back to work. Then we get done. And we repeat that every day and every day and every day. That's not the life I want. It's just not. It's
Yeah. I always believed that I was never built for it, you know? Like just growing up in general, when I was little, I never thought of myself working as like a doctor. I never thought of being like working at a job, like full-time job, 9 to 5. I never thought of that. All I thought was just like, oh, I'm gonna be free after I'm like after school, and then I can do whatever I want, and then build my business, and then
Yeah.
improve on my dad's business and stuff, you know? I never thought of myself of working in like a cubicle or like somewhere 9 to 5.
that's not a dream. That's
I don't
hell.
I don't understand how you can live like that.
That
Like how can you just wake up and just be okay with yourself and saying like, oh, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna abandon all my dreams and my passions and I'm just gonna go to work.
I don't. That's something I agree. I don't understand that. I don't understand how
understand
people
that,
can be like,
You know?
that's the life I want. That's the dream. That's what I will work for. It's just,
I don't know how.
I mean, again, we need to understand not everybody's wired like us.
Yeah.
Not everybody is built for this life we want. Not everybody's built for the hardships.
Not even one of them are willing
Especially
to
this
take risks.
generation. This generation has, you see it all the time. It's become weak.
Yeah.
Like men are told to be more feminine. That is how you create a falling nation. You see, let me try to find
And
it.
like I saw this one quote. It was like a really really like cool quote. It said like in time of peace you create peaceful men, and in time of like war you create people, or I mean men that are soldiers and stuff. You know, right now we're at the time of peace, no wars and stuff. You know, there may be wars going around, but like right now it's peace where we're at.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, it's just hard times create strong men.
Yeah.
Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
I think we are in America. I think we're in the weak men create hard times. I think our economy is going to shit. Our living is going to shit. There's a reason, like China, the BRICS Association, the Saudis, they're all going and they're trading in yen now. They're not trading USD.
Not anymore.
The USD is dropping in value, and that's because we've got so comfortable. This generation has got so comfortable for what the past generations have built for us. They got so comfortable, and now we're wasting it all. We were once a nation known to be the leading economy, the leading superpower of the world, and we still technically are the leading superpower of the world. But realistically, you look 10 years into the future, there's a reason major corporations are leaving the US and they're going into different countries. Because if things don't change, we're going to become a forgotten nation. We're going to have a fall like what the great Roman Empire had. Well, what happened? They created indoctrinations in the children, weak men, and what did they have? Their economy went to shit. And what did they do? They went on one last rampage, one last war quest to try to save it. And the way we're going now with who we have as president, it's causing war. We're in wars that we shouldn't be, in my opinion. But I would also say don't get so lost into this whole news. Because I feel like, especially in times now, news is very
manipulative.
I would say propaganda, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you need to understand that who really runs this world. There's, whether people want to say it, and this is just to cover it up. And people might call me conspiracy theorist and all this, but you need to look into it. I believe, especially in the U.S., I don't believe the U.S. government runs the decisions that are made in this country. I believe it's CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. You have to look at BlackRock. BlackRock and Vanguard are the two biggest shareholders in almost every stock in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Pfizer, leading medicine in the U.S., right? Who owns majority shares? BlackRock. You have to look into the food industry. Who owns, I think it's Miller Lite. You have forgot the name of the food company, but who owns them? BlackRock. Who owns the main transportation parts? Who owns GM? Who is the biggest provider, one of the biggest providers, especially in the US, for like vehicles, transportation, anything that involves transportation. Who owns them? Vanguard. But who owns Vanguard? BlackRock.
So it's like a little pyramid.
It's a whole pyramid.
It's a pyramid.
It's this. People get so lost in the idea. If you go around and ask people, do they feel safer or do they feel safer from last year? They're gonna say no. I feel more scared. There's more risk of war. There is more risk of war, but they feel less safe in their homes, in the areas. But if you look in a chart over 20 years, our nation's crime has dropped, whether people want to say it or not. They want to say, oh no, our crime has risen. It hasn't. Our crime rate has dropped, and it's statistically getting safer every year. But people say it feels more dangerous every year. And what is that? And what is it? It's the news outlets pushing this. And why is it? Because fear is what controls people. If you're afraid of something, whether you want to say it, it will control you. There's a whole reason why. Okay. I mean, we can go through a lot on this. I think we're just going to close it off soon. We're going to close off Real Talk. We'll come back with another episode to dive. We'll come back with another episode of Real Talk to dive more into it. because we can sit here for hours. Honestly, we can sit here for hours and just analyze everything. But we'll save that for another episode. Again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you guys on another episode.